So at the time of recording, Wuthering Waves version 2.0 Rinascita is almost a week away, which again is very exciting. A lot of people are very curious what's to come up in this update and how popular it will be overall. Well, it seems like we've got a first kind of look at how popular some of the characters will be in Rinascita, as well as some of the other characters that have already come out and how they compare, pretty much giving us an overall idea of what kind of hype there is for the characters in general, which ones are on top, which ones are, a little bit down below. And also, if we just take a look at all the Rinascita characters, well, it tells us the overall hype of Rinascita as well, from a pre-release kind of standpoint. So that's what we're going to be looking through in this video, and we're also going to be talking about why this may be, why some of these characters may be more popular, and also why Rinascita as a whole might be more popular in terms of player base, and also people pulling for characters, and also skins. But before I get into this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy it, and also go to GameWith, use my code CASO, where you can get yourself 10% off a ton of cups and tubs. I definitely recommend going over there. Now I can actually do this with my face cam and stuff. I actually have one of the cups right here. Again, really cool. This was from the Bloodsucker event. This is probably one of my favorite ones because I got some kind of merch with it as well, which is really cool. But again, I definitely recommend going over there, taking a look at what they've got. They've got a ton of really cool new stuff out there. So again, go over there and yeah, use my code. Let's get back into the video. So this was actually an article put out by GameWith, who are a pretty popular JP company. Now this survey was done entirely on JP. So that means a lot of these opinions are mainly JP's opinions. It's not just the entire global. Now I don't think it is actually region locked, so it means that people can come over. But I'm pretty sure most people that are using this website are kind of, from Japan or speak Japanese or something like that. Because again, I can't really understand any of this. Now you could translate it maybe, but I don't think a lot of people are going to go out of their way. So I think it's safe to assume that most of these people are from Japan and, are involved in the JP community, which has actually been growing a lot recently. I think it's really cool that Wuthering Waves have actually been growing their popularity over in Japan, because again, it didn't start out very good, but now it's gone absolutely amazing, and now they're one of the top regions that they sell to, which I think was a really good turnaround. But let's look at this top 10 here. So this was the top 10. They also show us like a bigger graph of who else is in it. Now, obviously, as we can see, Zani is actually in it at number 10. So she seems to be one of the most popular Rinascita characters at the moment. Obviously, she hasn't been released yet. We don't know any of her kit yet. And she's still the most popular alongside Rover in 9th. So that's actually pretty insane. And we'll also look at some of the ones below her to kind of give you a kind of concept of which characters are actually below, and some of the kind of like all right looking, playable characters that are below her. Now, obviously, if you keep going, Rover, as I said, is to be expected. Obviously, Rover appears in pretty much everything. You play her, so it's fair enough. Again, Yilin, pretty expectable. Again, she was a pretty cool character, but obviously, as time has gone on and, the banners have gone on, she's kind of decreased in popularity. But I think with her rerun, she's been kind of reminded of, how great she is as a character. Next is Scar, another unplayable character in this list, which means we've got 2 unplayable characters in the top 10, which is kind of crazy. And I've seen a lot of people very excited for Scar, and also very excited for Geshu Lin as well, if they do come out. Now, obviously, we haven't had any news about that whatsoever. Maybe they'll come out of Rinascita, maybe they won't. But again, it will be surprising if they do, because I don't think it would really make any sense for them to come out of Rinascita, unless maybe they were involved in the story somehow. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens with that. Maybe Scar's a little bit more likely, just because he could get busted out of prison during Rinascita, but we'll see. And then obviously we've got Zhang Yao as well, very popular character. I mean, you can kind of expect that. He was free, so I reckon a lot of people have grown a kind of liking to him, especially after playing him. Then also we've got male Rover, which is actually kind of surprising. I do think that female Rover's design is better in my personal opinion, and there was a lot of people kind of spouting that whenever the game first came out. But it seems like a lot more people prefer male Rover, and as you can see here, it says 564 and then 325, so it's almost by double, which is absolutely insane. And yeah, I think that's kind of surprising for me, but obviously a lot of people like him, a lot of people play him, so yeah, that's fair enough. Now, obviously, if we go into the top 4 here, we've got Jinshi, obviously Jinshi, a very powerful character anyways, so she already gets the points in terms of power, and her design is pretty decent as well, and I think a lot of people like it. Maybe the skin actually boosted up her rates a little bit, in terms of getting people excited for her, and in terms of people actually enjoying her, so maybe that was the kind of factor. I'm not sure, when this survey was actually conducted. But then we keep going. In the top 3 spot, obviously, is Camellya. Camellya has been very popular. I mean, there was a ton of fan service and stuff towards it, so you can understand why the players would be a little bit more receptive to that. And then also at number 2 is Shorekeeper. Again, the same kind of scenario. They had that whole romance kind of story thing, which again, I can see a lot of people liking. And then finally at number 1 is Changli. Now, obviously, Changli has an amazing design. I really think her character is great. Obviously, there's been a little bit of discourse over online between Changli mains and Saint at the moment, which is kind of funny. But honestly, as a character, not including playstyle, I said like design and everything like that, I do think she's a very good looking character. And also she plays pretty well too, you know, she's not bad. I don't think she's terrible. So again, let's just keep going. Let's go down to the like other kind of rankings here. We won't go through all of them. We'll just go through the ones that we see in Rinascita. Now obviously number 12 is Carlotta, which is actually kind of surprising because she's already caught up to Gian here, who's at number 11 almost. So again, some of these Rinascita characters for pre-release are actually extremely popular because that's just Carlotta now. Whenever she hasn't been released, whenever no one's pulled for her, no one's tried her out. Imagine what the survey would be like in a month's time after she's came out and, you know, Rinascita is in full force. I feel like a lot of these characters would actually be much higher. Now obviously that might be due to a little bit of recency bias, but honestly I do think Carlotta is an amazing character. She's pretty much got everything, you know. She's got the flashy animations, which are really cool in combat. She's got the really cool voice actors, English and Japanese. They're both amazing. She's obviously got the good design as well. You know, good tacit mark placement, everything like that. She's got the whole Rin Tosaka thing going on with the personality. So again, I'm very excited for her, and I think a lot of other people are as well. Now, the next Rinascita character a little bit further down is Phoebe, which actually surprised me. That means she's the third most popular character. Now, obviously, a lot of people have been kind of spouting online that Phoebe isn't very popular and that she won't be very popular. But honestly, looking at these polls, you know, a lot of the Japanese people do like them. So again, that is really, really great to see. And now, obviously, after that, we got Brant at number 19, which again, I can see he's a very popular character, you know. Even I want to pull for him, even with that design. I don't usually pull for a lot of male characters, but honestly, this design is so good that I might actually have to. And then finally, we've got Roacha, who is, you know, one of the 5 stars coming out soon. So it seems like in terms of the phase 1 and 2 banner for the update for version 2.0, Carlotta is much more popular than Roacha at the moment. Now, obviously, this could change as people find out how she plays and stuff like that. But honestly, I do think Carlotta is just going to sell more. I feel like she's much more appealing, and Roacha is much more niche in terms of design. In terms of gameplay, maybe Roacha is better, and maybe some people will actually pull for both of them because I feel like maybe they could have some kind of synergy, I'm not sure. Or maybe there'll be some kind of meta thing in the future. There's so many maybes that, you know, we don't really know. But we can see that the least favorite 5-star is actually Jeesa, which actually surprised me a ton. Jeesa is a very, very great character who fits into a lot of teams, obviously with Jinshi, and apparently she's going to work with Carlotta as well, as we saw from the IGN kind of footage. And she's actually at the bottom, which surprised me because I don't mind her design that much. I think it's pretty good. And she's actually below like characters like Ling Yang and some others as well, which I think is absolutely crazy. And she's even below some 4 stars like Danchin and also Yang Yang and Baija, which again surprised me quite a bit, and Alto too. So yeah, that's kind of surprising, and it is surprising to see Alto at one of the highest spots for the 4-star area. So again, very, very cool. It kind of gives us an idea of what characters some people are excited for, especially over in the JP audience. So obviously Zani is the most popular, with Roacha being the least popular. So it's going to be interesting to see what the pool sales are like and the revenue is like in the future whenever it comes to pulling these characters, because let's be real, none of these characters are near the top yet. But I think whenever we get close to gameplay and close to Rinascita's release, a lot of these characters are going to go up in the rankings, and I hope that they do another one just to see how it kind of turns out. Now, obviously, they've got a ton of new stuff as well, like this skin that has come out recently, obviously the Peach Blossom skin, which is going to be released on version 2.0, which a lot of people are very excited for. So we're going to see the popularity of the game go up, which means we could see the popularity of certain characters go up as well, and hopefully the Wuthering Waves do a lot more advertising for this update so that more people can join in, and more people can join in on surveys like this to see, you know, if this could change up a little bit. Because again, I think Rinascita is a big push for a new audience, and I think over in Japan, you know, they definitely have been pushing their audience quite a bit since the release of the game. So some of these were very, very predictable. Obviously, some were a little bit of a surprise. But let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Do you think that any of these were, you know, a big shock to you? Or do you think that most of these were pretty, you know, acceptable, pretty expectable as well? Because although you might not like Changli or something like that, she is still at the top with a score of 945. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be like 1,000 maybe. I'm not sure. I don't know Japanese, so maybe if Ryuku can, you know, he could fact check me there. But again, it is really cool to see her that high up. And then, you know, Zani's all the way down at 289. So she is quite a lot lower than her. But at the same time, you know, Changli just seems to be a popular character overall in Japan. And yeah, it'd be cool to have a global one of this as well, because again, this is only in one region. So maybe if we, you know, extend it to the global region, maybe this might change a little bit in terms of taste. But yeah, that's what I got for this video. If you did enjoy it, then don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And also go to GameWith, as I said, use my code Kaza, and you can get a ton of really cool stuff over there. So I definitely recommend going to go check it out. They probably have an event on at the moment, which I'll probably throw up on the screen. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.